What is Apple Music for artists? How do you change your artist picture on Apple Music or see stats about your streams? Well, if you've wondered questions like these, then keep watching, because today we're going to be walking through Apple Music for artists and talk about how you can use this powerful tool to set your music business up for success. Let's blast off and get started. JM in your universe. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make electronic dance pop music and every Wednesday on this channel, I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, then I'm very sad. I was really hoping you would want to hang out with me for a little bit longer than just one video. It has nothing to do with wanting my watch time to increase. I think. Or does it? Think about that. All right, so what exactly is Apple Music for Artists? Well, Apple Music for Artists is a powerful tool providing key analytics about your music and plays on Apple Music and iTunes. It's how you control that artist picture on Apple Music, and you can see all sorts of cool stuff, like even seeing which of your songs are being Shazammed the most. It's a powerful tool for independent artists like you and me, and it's very similar to Spotify for artists as well, because these key analytics can drastically affect your whole marketing campaign and strategies. You can even download all of your data as a CSV file too. So with all that being said, let's just jump in. So in order to gain access, you are gonna need to sign up, which does require an Apple ID, if you don't already have one. Now, once you're signed in, you'll need to fill out a request form in order to claim your profile. You'll first need to select an album or a single, something that you've already made available in Apple Music. And yes, your music does already need to be live in Apple Music in order to do this, because if there's nothing there, there's really nothing to claim. Then you'll select if you're the artist, the manager, or a label representative. And no, you don't actually need to be signed to a label in order to do this. You can just sign up as the artist, that's totally fine, and you'll have full access. After that, you'll need to fill out your contact information, including some social media links, so that way they can verify this process a little bit faster. Once you submit your application, you can log back in and see that your application is pending. Now, I was approved rather quickly, but I do know that sometimes it can take a while, so remember to just be patient. If for some reason it's taking longer than a few weeks, you can always email Apple's support team directly to check on your status, or just ask them if you need to provide any additional details that might speed up your verification process. Now, once your application has been approved, you'll have full access to your artist data on Apple Music. So let's take a look at what you'll actually be seeing. So this is your overview section. This is where you can see data about your music at a glance. You can change the data range from many different time intervals in the upper right corner. The default though is usually set to the past 4 weeks. Up at the top, you'll see that it's split into 4 different categories: plays, average daily listeners, song purchases, and Shazams, all of which we'll check out in just a second. Below that, you can see some cool insights, which are like mini notes of achievement about your music, such as reaching 100 plays or 500 plays or 1,000 plays, whatever it might be. Below that, you can see a map of where your music is being streamed the most in this time interval. And underneath that, you can see your top songs for this period and which of your songs got the most Shazams. Clicking over to trends, you can see some interesting and detailed stats about each of your songs. You'll be able to see exactly which of your songs are the most popular on all of Apple Music and iTunes. And you can even filter this by plays, how many listeners, Shazams, radio spins, which, by the way, that's radio spins on Apple Music, not like on an FM station in your car. Just want to clarify that. You can even filter it by song purchases or album purchases. And if you've got music videos on Apple Music, you can even see data about that as well. Moving on to places, you'll be able to see the countries and regions where your music gets played the most. This is really helpful because if you ever plan on touring, whatever that looks like post-COVID-19, then this will show you places that you should go to visit your fans. For example, if you've got a ton of plays over in the UK, it might be a good idea to pay a visit to the UK, you know, once it's safer. Or if you're here in the US and you're getting a whole bunch of plays in Washington, might not be a bad idea to book a gig in Seattle. It's all good information. You can even click on a specific song and see which cities are playing it the most. You can even use this data to help your ad targeting if you're choosing to do some paid advertising for your music. Keep these things in mind as you're formulating your promo strategies going forward. Moving over to your music, you can see a relatively simplified version of your song stats broken up into those main categories. categories that we talked about earlier: plays, average daily listeners, Shazams, radio spins, and of course, purchases. Finally, heading over to the Manage tab will give you a couple things worth noting. For artist image, this is where you can change that picture on your artist profile. And yes, it has to be a picture of you, not a bunch of words promoting your latest release. Also, any changes made to your picture usually can take 24 to 48 hours to take effect. So remember that next time you're doing any sort of music release that involves changing your profiles on social media. You'll probably need to do this one ahead of time. Also from here, you can invite other people to access your data or certain parts of your data, and this could be somebody else on your team maybe, but that's of course up to you. Also, there is a button that you should pay attention to where you can choose to allow others to request access to this profile, but personally, I leave it unchecked and don't allow others because I don't want a bunch of people trying to request access to my personal profile. I mean, I get enough trouble dealing with other Jonathan Millers out there and getting their music mixed up on my profile. So personally, I just think it's better to leave this box unchecked. And lastly, if for some reason you no longer want access to this artist's profile, you can click Leave This Artist. Now, if you're the artist, I wouldn't do that, obviously. For me, this is kind of like if you were the manager signing up for it and you no longer manage an artist, you could just leave this artist because you wouldn't be caring about their analytics anymore. But I thought I would touch on it just in case. Apple Music for Artists is a really important resource for independent artists. We have to manage everything ourselves, and any tool that can help us on our way is so important. Apple Music is one of the most popular streaming and online music retailers on the market. So go get signed up and take your music career to the next level. So that is my walkthrough on Apple Music for Artists. Question of the video: what do you like most about Apple Music? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you want to check out my video on Spotify for artists, I've left a link in the description below so you can check that out as well. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider joining me on Patreon like Mike here and all these wonderful people to get all sorts of fun rewards, including access to my YouTube calendar to see what's coming to this channel. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
I am a machine, not a robot, not operation electronically. My messages are magnetic vibrations. Once a pioneer, now I'm taking off across the nation. Don't need you.